Hey guys, gals, friends, and pals, this is Paul, EastX Twitch, and welcome to another episode of Saturday Game School, where we learn about a different game every Saturday of the year. Tonight I am joined on mic by Tyler.
Hello.
And we have a very special guest host, Chris.
Hey, how you doing?
And I believe you are the founder of Causal Bit Games, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
And Battle Princess Madelyn here is your most recent release.
Yep.
So what all platforms is this game on?
Right now, we are on PC, Xbox One, Switch, and PS4.
Excellent. And I heard someone asking about a Wii U port. Is that actually going to happen?
Hopefully. I mean, we're still working on it, so
Cool.
it'd be nice to get it done.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of late in the Wii U's life cycle, but on the other hand, if people are looking forward to it, then
Yeah.
got to give them what they want. Hey, BX Latino Heat. Glad to see you. So, real quick, Battle Princess Madelyn here was funded by Kickstarter. I was actually one of the backers, so it's pretty cool that I got to meet you and get to know you, and then here we are doing a stream with you on mic. Why don't you tell us about how the game was created? And we'll jump into story mode.
It's been a while since I've told this story. Let's see. Well, it kind of started with me and Maddie playing Ghouls and Ghosts one day. She was,
Your
I think
daughter?
she's about 4 years old. Yeah, Madelyn. She's the star of the game. She liked watching me play Ghouls and Ghosts, and I ended up getting the Super Famicom version of it, and it was a little bit better. We were playing it on Genesis all the time, and she loved watching me fight the first boss. And then it came down to she wanted to fight the first boss, and then she wanted to be in the game.
Aw.
And then I explained to her, you can't, it's somebody else's game, you can't be in it. So maybe I can make you your own game. And she's like, girls can't be knights, Daddy. Like, what color you want your armor?
Aw.
So, yeah, that's kind of how it started. She was kind of getting picked on in school at that point, too. Like, boys were telling her she couldn't do things because she was a girl, and there was other factors to it, so it wasn't hard to twist my arm, and it's like one of my favorite games of all time. So I was like, yeah, you know what, I can do something like that. So I just kind of I started drawing the sprites that day, and originally it was pink armor instead of the training armor she has on when you start out.
Mm-hmm.
But it looked too much like Ghouls and Ghosts, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna scrap that and make her something that's more her. And that's just kind of where it started. I made a prototype over the span of a year. I was working, I don't know, I was doing overtime at my day job and working on Maddie's game on weekends with her. Like, she would draw some stuff and sit with me and tell me what to draw. And we'd do that on weekends, sometimes at nighttime if I was home early. And yeah, it just kind of came together, and people were getting interested. And then on her 5th birthday, I pushed out the prototype video, and it got a lot of attention. I'm like, maybe we should just do a full game, and she can help me make it. That's what ended up happening with it.
Aw, I'm really happy you had that idea.
Yeah. Well, she likes it. I think it's been 4 years since that started now, because she's 8.
Huh?
So it's like, it's been a long journey, and for a little kid, she doesn't even remember the conversation anymore, which was kind of sad. Like,
Aw.
You remember that time we were sitting there and you wanted to be in Ghouls and Ghosts? No.
That's cute.
That sucks, but yeah, I mean, she still loves it. We still work on stuff, and I'll show her new ideas and things, and we're still having fun with it. I think she's thrilled with the part that she has her own doll. And
Animated intro. Yeah, that is really cool. Merchandise, wow.
yeah, well, that was just for the Kickstarter, but we get a lot of requests saying, "Hey, you guys gonna make extra dolls?" I'm like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, I only backed for like a lower amount because I couldn't afford more. But yeah, I'd love to get a doll someday as well. If you ever do another production run. Oh no, Fritzy!
We might have another run done. Well, the Fritzy one wasn't actually going to happen. It was just a bonus because we went so far with the campaign. And yeah, it's nice to have a little ghost dog. He looks a little bit like a sperm thing, but you know, it's all right. It's weird looking. But
he does look a little like that, yes. By the way, that was a little bit of Princess Bride influence in the introduction, wasn't it?
oh yes, it was.
And
Right down to everything isn't. I think the artist got it down to where everything was located in the room, but then there's like our old game poster is on the wall for Insanity's Blade behind her bed and stuff like that.
oh, neat. That's a cool touch.
Yeah. Fake
Insanity's-
minions. In the real bedroom, there's minions everywhere. So.
Ah. And Insanity's Blade is your previous PC game, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yes.
You saw some pictures of that, I think, the other night. So.
Indeed. And also, I mean, I have... That was cool. Kickstarter backers got Insanity Blade for free, so that was fun.
Yeah, it's the not safe for work game.
Yeah, that's true. Apparently it gets a little naughty here and there. I always used to like, 2D games like Super Nintendo Genesis era. Occasionally they'd throw in kind of a naughtily designed enemy, and it was always kind of just a cool little surprise because it's not something they would put up at the front, you know?
Yeah. I did it all over the game. Just
so the whole game is like that.
People where it is.
Ah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
I think I got maybe to the second or third level. I really should play more of it sometime. But, and it'd be really cool if someday, if it ever came to console, it'd be really neat. Good boy. Good
It
boy.
might. I don't know. We've talked about it. Are we gonna remake it? Are we just gonna port it? Like, what do we want to do?
What would
There's
be
been
best?
horrible jokes about making it into a Zelda-style action RPG.
That would be different.
Making it like a co-op Magic Sword type game and stuff like that. So.
Ooh. Magic Sword, a game I wish that I could really enjoy, but it's like a little too esoteric, I guess. A little too vague for my taste. So here I am, I'm finally in the game. Did you reduce how far the money shoots away? I remember people complaining about that.
Oh yeah, the money. Davin reduced how far it went, and I changed the way the gravity works on it. So it basically falls on the spot. It might bounce a little bit, but it'll stay now. Lots of little tweaks you'll find all through the game. The biggest things you're going to notice is, for example, when you hit the pause button and go to the options menu, that's
Quest
probably
log.
the biggest thing.
Ooh.
Yeah, the big one is teleport the travel stone. So once you get past the first level, and you get to use the first travel stone, whenever you enter a new level in the game and there's a travel stone present, it automatically lets you go back there. So if you go to teleport to travel stone, it takes you back to the closest one, so you don't have to go back through an entire level to find where you're going. And then there's the map.
Nice, yeah,
You
that's
can
really
zoom in and stuff.
If you don't mind a little critical feedback, the fact that the B button doesn't back out of these menus is unintuitive.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to.
Bummer.
It's something that can probably be fixed.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you ever did do another update, that would be cool. I know you're kind of trying to get to where the game is just in its final state, though, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Considering how many things we just changed, like, we almost... I did 3 new stages for this version of the game, so you'll see that once you get to level 2, it's basically the game for level 2.
That's exciting. The money physics are a lot better now. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they used to just fly all over the place before.
Yeah, I was like, why am I not supposed to get all the money that comes out of a little jar? Like, why would that be so hard? But yeah.
It's much better.
Okay, so we got to go to town and find Joe, and then we'll have a key which we can use. And they're holding off an army of enemies. That's pretty cool. Hey, No Time for Games. Glad to see you. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Ah, enemies are spawning. Oh no, they spawned on me until I died. Bad enemies. Okay, are lives unlimited? I forget how that works.
Oh, I was gonna actually get you to put the cheat code on, so you wouldn't have. If you die, you wouldn't restart levels.
Will it stay enabled forever? Can I turn it off?
You can turn it off. It's just in the options menu. There's you have to quit the game now. You don't really need to do it for the first level. It's just if you go to the higher levels, it's nice to have it because some of the higher levels are much harder.
Thank you, Brian.
Paul might need it for the first.
Yeah, you know, I think the way that I beat the first boss was not the way I was supposed to beat it. I think I didn't know that I could fight him a certain way. By the way, this NPC right here, I think maybe this NPC is wearing a long shirt, but I always thought it was pendulous breasts. So which one is right? Is that not what those are?
Go. I don't mind the boob one. Well, just say boobs then. It's this unbuttoned shirt.
Hooray!
Making fun of my poor peasant.
No, I mean, you did. How much of this game's art did you do yourself?
All the in-game art is me, except for some of the HUD elements. The animated scenes, the story scenes aren't me, but any of the sprite work that's in-game is me. Backgrounds, sprites.
That's really, really impressive.
Thank you. It took a little bit of time.
Yeah, and you have a background as an artist too, don't you? Before you made games.
Well, I was a graphic designer for a long time, but it's not so much art as it is layout stuff and setting up other people's artwork to look nice. So, but yeah, I technically, if you want to say, I was doing sprite art probably around the age of 11. And I never really stopped doing it until I was halfway through my 20s, so it was just for fun.
That is very cool. You know, I've always really appreciated sprite artwork, and I wish I could create it from scratch. But I like in the Forza games or games where you can design your own livery, your own decals and things like that. I'll just recreate pixel art sprites, pixel by pixel. That's fun to do. Not that it takes creativity.
Well, speaking of recreating, those coins I redrew. I don't know if I drew them two or three times I redid them.
Yeah?
Because originally they had dollar signs on them and they were different colors and they had a different kind of light texture on them. Silly things I would go back and tweak. There's a bug here. I bet you're going to trigger it.
Uh-oh.
You did it! Because Grandpa has a physics collider.
Oh.
And so when you get him to stand on top of you, he can actually stop stuff from getting to you. You'll still pick it up, but because he's standing there, he's actually holding it up. So, yeah. It's not a bug, it's a glitch.
Call it a feature.
Yeah, a little Easter egg.
There you go. Sometimes I expected this person inside of the tavern to be a shopkeeper or something, but there's not a shop that you can buy things from, is there?
There is, but you have to get the hammer before you can get the shop.
Oh, that's right. And then you can get upgrades and stuff.
Yeah. There's also a cheat code to skip that because some people didn't want to do that quest. So what I did is, Davin did it, but there's you can go to the options menu when you go to helpers is when it just automatically upgrades your armor and your weapons to max. And then I think there's another one that lets you have all the weapons right at the start. So there's multiple codes.
Wow.
And then the one where Fritzy's energy never drains, so you can never restart a level. You always respawn where you die. Yeah. Yeah,
that's really generous of you in a way. You know, you're emulating a classic series that is known, it's famous for its difficulty, but even still, you've got a lot of accessibility to this game. You allow people of different skill levels to enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, that was kind of the idea. And I mean, I don't really want, when Maddie gets to the point where she really wants to try playing it, she still makes me play it and watches. She's kind of afraid to play it, so I'm excited for the point where she goes, I just want to play it, and I'll watch her play it once, and it'll be nice.
That is cool. By the way, here's something that I didn't like. It's this tool hint right here tells you how to use Fritzy powers before you actually have Fritzy powers, so that confused me. But I mean, maybe we're not supposed to really go here, right?
You get them. Yeah, you don't get them till halfway point. I think originally we had it so you could do the biting one right from the beginning,
Oh,
and then that hint just might have stuck around.
that would
Yeah,
explain
I
it.
remember that. I remember having the same thing because I was pushing RB or R1 on PlayStation. It's like, what does this do? And I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just a source of confusion.
I unlocked it.
Oh, but you mentioned the hammer thing, and I don't know if you remember, but that was actually one of the first things that brought me to your Discord to chat, was that I had gotten actually surprisingly far in the game without ever finding the hammer, so I hadn't had any kind of upgrades.
Yeah, I remember that. You basically beat the game without the upgrade. Okay, stop there. In
Okay.
front of that statue, go back.
Oh, go in. Wait. Oh, you're right. There was an item back there, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Oops. Okay,
We'll
let's
get
go
you a
back.
weapon before you start going all the way through the game.
Yeah, I should have remembered that. It's been a little while since I played. About 3 months now, probably. Okay. Yeah, the reason that I had stopped playing, even though I was really aggressively enjoying it at the time, was that I ran into an unfortunate bug on Xbox One X, and you recently managed to finally kill that bug, right?
Oh yeah, that was wonderful. So what it was the save game size was wrong, I guess, and every time you got so far in the game and picked up so many objects, the save game size would go beyond it would allowed to load, and then the game crashed on boot up. It wouldn't load the save game. So we finally got, the problem was we couldn't get it to trigger because whenever we do the testing, we don't do every single quest, and we were looking for a different bug completely because
Oh,
of
wow.
how it would react.
That's crazy.
I sat, I think it was like a whole Saturday and a Saturday night triggering the bug, and I was doing everything I possibly could in the game and making my save game big because I kind of had a feeling maybe that's what it was. And then finally I got it, and then I went back and did all of it again just to make sure I wasn't crazy, and I triggered it again.
Talk
Yeah,
about
and then the other
dedication.
one, what was the other one? Memory leak. So the memory leak would cause the game to crash. And what it was is Unity wasn't letting go of the tile maps when you switch scenes. It would let go of everything else, but I think because we used a script or something we paid for, it didn't have the proper code in it to let go of the texture maps or something like that. So it would load them, but it wouldn't take them out of RAM. So every time you switched a scene, it would go up a few hundred megabytes every time. And so on a lower end console, like the Switch that has the least amount of RAM to like a regular Xbox, if you kept going back and forth between the stages, you would get the game to crash because your system ran out of RAM.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. You usually
You
don't.
make game development not sound very fun.
Oh,
Depends on what part you're doing.
that's true. And as the head guy, you have to worry about like every little aspect of the game, basically, right?
Yep.
Well, you've done some major updates since this was released. When did it come out? Was it November?
I don't even remember when it came out now. I wasn't sleeping at all.
October or November, I'm sure.
It was the end of November, I think, but I think it might have been the 6th of December, actually, that the game came out, and it came out on PC and Xbox, and then it came out on, because we had bugs in the Switch version still, we pushed it back to the 20th, the Switch and PS4, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a shame that it had to be kind of a staggered release like that, but I mean, it's at a certain point you just have to release the game, right? You know, you have some versions ready, you might as well release them. Am I supposed to go in the store yet? I can't remember.
Oh, you don't have to do that part yet. That's a secret level. You can do it, but there's no point really yet because you can use the double jump that you get later on and the pogo to do those levels, and you can reach stuff you can't normally reach.
Oh, okay, so at this point I can't jump high enough.
Maybe in that one you can. I don't remember. I haven't gone into that level. You were just playing the main levels, looking for the quest bugs and stuff like that. I think there's a couple of dolls and a kid in there, I think. Yeah, one of the kids, the town quest is in there.
Ah, and rescuing kids, it's kind of a Moonwalker-like and Shinobi-like mechanic, isn't it? They're just there and you have to go collect them.
Except for the part where you go, Michael, at the end. And then,
Yeah, a little different.
yeah.
Moonwalker is before Tyler's time, regrettably.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
He didn't.
What?
He didn't experience 1980s culture.
Well, I was only alive for half of it.
Moonwalker was 1990, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think. I haven't watched the movie. I tried watching clips of it. I'm like, guys, there's no way I'm ever going to be able to watch this movie.
It's. I like it. It's very endearingly bizarre. Like it doesn't hold together as what you would consider a good movie, but it's so weird, and I just really enjoy that weirdness. Don't want to go that way yet.
Robot in that part.
Yeah, I've never even heard of it.
Yeah, it's a partially music videos, like just disparate music videos, but there is sort of a thin overall narrative, that builds up, especially at the end. And yeah, it's got great music. It's got the music video for Smooth Criminal, only not the weird music video you would see on MTV where they kind of mess with the animation and stuff. They did some kind of, I forget. It's just a better version of the music video than the separate music video. That's what I mean to say. So, let's see. So you're supposed to duck at these ghosts and at those certain statues, and you get rewards for it, right?
Yep.
Well, right on.
In this case, it's just money.
Just money. What a letdown. Ah!
Oh, this level changed so much since it was originally done. I've redone the first level 5 or 6 times.
Oh, wow.
The first stage alone. Because originally, when I was designing it, I don't know if you've ever seen the prototype video, but it's a straightforward arcade game. And it's just left to right, and there's a lot of effects and stuff, a lot going on. The graphics are entirely different for the background.
Huh.
And yeah, I just didn't like it. It didn't match the rest of the art because the prototype I did 4 years ago.
Thank you,
And then I
Covalent.
with the art again, and it didn't fit anymore, so I had to redo all of it.
Well, that's a lot of effort.
I didn't
but-
like
What didn't you like?
the flow of the level originally. It was too up and down, and it still came out in the same spot, and it just didn't feel right. It was the same idea. You go through the graveyard, you get to a point, and then there's a wall, and you have to go do this zigzag up a mountain, and then across. On the other side of the mountain is the entrance to the crypt, but it was too spaced out for my liking.
Ah.
So
So now
that
it's
was the second
tighter?
or third version.
I see.
Oh yeah, this is way better like this. The art looks much better than what I had in there before. It's more natural looking. The art I had was really rigid in the original one. It's just stiff looking. Everything is straight and perfect looking, and it didn't look right. And this is all busted rocks and crumbling ground and everything. It just looks a lot more, a little more natural. These tiles didn't change except for the colors. I like this one, but I redid this level a few times too. The whole first level just kept getting redone.
Real quick before I forget, earlier you mentioned Ghouls and Ghosts on Super Nintendo, but wasn't that game really basically Ghouls and Ghosts 3? Or Ghosts and
the
Goblins
Super
3?
Nintendo one?
Yeah, it's...
I'm not a fan of the Super Nintendo one. The slowdown was so bad, it used to drive me nuts when I was a kid. I had the Genesis one, and then I had the Super Graphics one, which is the upgraded PC engine.
Yeah.
So it only came out in Japan. There's 6 or 7 games on it, but it also used actual PC engine games, so you could have that whole library too. But the Ghouls and Ghosts on that was closer to the arcade one than the Genesis one was, and I like it. There's more color. All the graphics are actually there. If you play the Genesis version, the first thing that really stuck out for me when I was a kid was, why is the pigman so small? He's supposed to be huge when he's charging down the hill to get you.
Oh,
He's the same size as you on the Genesis, and then the PC engine in the arcade one, it's the right size. So
yeah, the PC engine could do really large sprites, couldn't it?
Yeah. Well, the Super Graphics version, yeah. The PC,
Especially the
it
Super
had
Graphics.
more power, but yeah, the PC engine could do a lot more, which is weird because it was basically a dual NES CPU kind of thing. It's
Yeah.
the same instruction set, I think. But it had more color than the Genesis, and it just Yeah, I don't know. I just like it's my favorite system.
Nice.
It's absurd. I love it.
So, viewers and especially Discord users, do you guys see why I get along with Chris so well? We share a lot of the same interest in old consoles and stuff.
Yeah, he's got me beat in that department. He can be your new weekly co-host.
That's true. Sorry, Tyler, you're out.
I think today's one of the first days where I didn't take a break and fix something. It's usually I'll be working and working in my break instead of actually taking a break. I'll go fix something that's like mind-blowingly dumb to fix. Well, I gotta solder this chip onto this old board that's gonna basically crumble at my touch. So I've been doing Genesis mods. I've got a 32X, like it would never work on my old Model 1 Genesis. I got that working, put a region switch on the Genesis, and put another sound chip, a newer version of the sound chip in. That's like blaring super bass out, so my Streets of Rage 2 sounds so much better on my stereo.
Oh, neat. That's cool.
Like
You
more
like doing
bass.
hardware mods. Ah. So you put a region switch in your Genesis. Are there any particular games where you would rather play a different region version?
Pardon me?
You said you put a region switch in your Genesis, and the purpose of that, of course, would be that some games booted up differently on different countries' consoles.
That and some of them won't work unless you have the console switch in there. Like I remember Golden Axe 3 came out and it only came out in Japan, and then if you put it in your Genesis, it would say that this game is only able to work in the Japanese region. It's not meant for this region.
Oh,
so
really?
that's how the game works now. So
Oh, I didn't
And
remember
then-
that region lock on it.
yeah, yeah. The later games all had region locks. Now it's kind of lame, but most of them came out here, so it wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah, although there were the Konami games, Contra and Castlevania, especially Contra, they really screwed up the difficulty for the American version. Like, for some reason, they used to love to do that for Contra. So,
Are you
I
talking
seem...
about the Nintendo one?
About which one?
The Nintendo version?
Well, I was thinking of Contra 3 on Super Nintendo. The Japanese version is way easier, and I seem to remember that the Mega Drive version was as well.
I've never played the Japanese version of Contra 3 before. I've got the American version. I don't think I have the Japanese one, but
Well, the big difference is you had a life meter in addition to separate lives, you know? And so, like, by removing the life meter, they made the game literally 3 times harder for American audiences.
that's how the real game was, though. You don't get a life meter in the real game.
Well, I mean, but remember, I'm just saying, it was developed in Japan, so to me, the Japanese one is the real game, and I'm being dumb and falling on these spikes over and over. I'm not supposed to go in here yet, am
Some
I?
of those levels you don't need to go in again.
Yeah, my bad.
That one you need to be able to pogo to get into this one, so you can't get into it till later.
Okay,
You
I
just-
see.
It's just there to tease you and go, why can't I do that yet? And then you're down, now I can get up there, because you got to bounce off the top of the skeletons.
Makes sense. Yeah, I don't know if I ever got that ability last time I played. Is that kind of a late game ability?
Depends on where you get the weapon from. I think there's a couple halfway through the game,
Oh, okay.
and it just depends on what level you go to, since you can, in the second half of the game, you can pick which level you want to go to.
Yeah, I remember that.
I think the pogo wand is in level 8. Yeah, it's in Spain. So you just have to run through the first part, do a little dungeon route, dodging traps, and then you go up and talk to the guy, and he gives you the pogo wand, and then you can finish that level and beat the boss, and then you can go back to like the first level and do all the stuff where you need the pogo wand. So yeah.
Neat. Yeah, so you've had a lot. I mean, there's a lot of replayability and non-linearity to it.
Oh yeah.
Very cool. So it's kind of... Yeah, I know originally your design was going to be a bit more arcadey, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was way smaller. And I think with the Kickstarter, it's like all these people need to be put in the game, and I'm like, well, on the levels I originally designed, this isn't going to fit anymore, because you had to put, I was like 40-something people into the game. Yeah, and everybody's like, just put them in a bar, and I'm like, that's lame. I don't want to, put them in a bar. That's weird. And then they just say their name, because that's not cool. They paid money to be in it, but then it wasn't any better to spread them out all over the game, because now the game's gigantic. So It was originally not meant to be this big.
I see. Can't get up there yet, can I? No. Is there any way to get life refilled?
Killing stuff. Oh, you mean your armor?
Yeah, because I'm down to nothing, aren't I, right now?
Yeah, you can die and just kill some stuff and get it back.
Probably what I should do is just get to the boss and die there, since...
Yeah, you'll start right outside the door if you keep dying, but...
So I can't
Once
charge
you
up.
die, if Fritzy has power, doesn't it like bring you back to life with some help?
Yeah, that's the original purpose of the dog, is to resurrect you. He eats the souls of the monsters, and you get that.
I really like that in the game. So like, it kind of rewarded you for being able to not die over and over, and being able to kill a few enemies. You could like bring yourself back to almost full health.
Yeah,
That is pretty cool. And by the way, Icky, I forgot, but Icky Azd, who is our contest moderator, he's the guy who gave you that feedback that I shared with you yesterday. But he's also a Kickstarter backer of this game, so that's pretty cool.
You guys. Yeah, I kind of get talked into the Kickstarter thing. Originally, I was just going to do the little arcade game, and that was it.
Ouch. All right.
So now some people get records and dolls and books. And...
So remind me how to hit this guy. I just walk... No, because you can't just walk under him. It hits you.
Okay, so he has a very strict attack pattern. So when he swings his sword, he can't hit... Like, only the blade can hit you. When he's about to swing his sword, you can run under his legs and shoot up.
Oh, okay.
His legs don't hurt you unless he's stomping.
I see. I'm scared to do it, though.
Wait till he does that swing attack.
Gotcha.
He's doing it. Go shoot him in the head, yeah.
Okay, that's good. Ah, what about this? Can his legs hit me when he's doing that? That's stomping, right? Yeah. Okay.
You can, what you're doing right now, I think it's lagging a little bit, but what you're doing is like you just have to run up and get him to swing the sword, and then when he's about to swing, you go hit him, and there's like a 3-second window before he swings the sword, I think. So you have a few seconds to go nail him.
He's a really cool looking enemy.
That was Maddie's first boss she designed. That was more of a stick man. This is her green head, is this skeleton. That's what she drew. So it was like a skeleton with a horn on his head, and a sword and 6 ribs, and I think he had kneecaps. And I think I put the picture on Kickstarter, but
you might have. Oh, Paul, I can't avoid getting hit for long enough. Did I have to restart the level? Oh, Paul, come on. All right, I'll try again.
Oh, you almost had him.
Yeah.
Spam the button. Spam the button.
Okay, just turn turbo on. That'll help.
It's turbo. Do you have a Saturn controller with turbo on it?
Yeah, well, it's a Saturn controller plugged into a really cool accessory called the Mayflash Xbox One adapter, and it allows you to use turbo or auto fire on any button, which is so handy for cheating in some games.
It's good for Splatterhouse.
That would be
Man, that does fire quick.
Yeah, it's great, and you can adjust it between 2 different turbo speeds too. Stop.
Sounds pretty fancy.
It's dangerous.
So there's a wall buffer on each side to make him bounce backwards.
Oh.
So he can't stomp you right into a corner. He has to back off because it just got ridiculously hard. And sometimes he'd glitch out and get stuck on the wall. So I need a big buffer. Great grandparents, and somebody was saying these two reminded them of the couple at the end of Beetlejuice when it's Adam and he's like, when they're like the bad guy sucks their energy at the Madelyn's, yeah, and I'm like, yeah, it kind of does, but I think I was totally looking at Corpse Bride when I was doing that. I had the action figure of the elder guy sitting on I'm like, yeah, it kind of works. Not as dangly looking, but I like the hunched over king thing. I like Corpse Bride a lot. And I think I watch it like 10 or 12 times a year. I might be a little obsessed with that stuff. Big Beetlejuice fan.
Paul's muted, apparently.
Ah, my bad. Sorry, guys. I wasn't even
He's
coughing.
saying how much he loves the movie Corpse Bride and that it's his favorite movie of all time.
Yeah, and I was also bagging on Tyler for never having seen Beetlejuice, or if he did see it, he probably doesn't understand why it's so great.
What, Beetlejuice?
Yeah.
No, I love Beetlejuice. It's fantastic.
Yay, that's the first time I've ever heard you be enthusiastic about a movie.
Yeah, I like movies, just not 80s movies, but
No,
Beetlejuice is
what?
really good.
You don't like RoboCop?
He does not
RoboCop's-
understand RoboCop.
RoboCop's okay, it's so weird.
Do you hear that?
It's so manly. I'm dead, but I'm still manly. Look at me posing.
Yeah, I mean, it was the part that Peter Weller was born to play because he's a very monotonic actor. He can't emote, so it works for him.
Oh, did you see the KFC commercials he did, though? They were great.
Yeah, that's funny. It's cool they got his actual voice for those.
I was just watching, I'm like, is that Peter Weller's voice? I know it's not him, but I'm listening to it, I'm like, that is him. And I had to go Google, because I just couldn't believe there's Peter Weller's like 70-something, he did the RoboCop voice. I'm like, that's fantastic.
Yeah, that's wild. Bob Jones asks what you think of the newer RoboCop movie, the reboot.
I didn't like it at all. It reminded me of the game Crisis, while trying to look like Batman meets RoboCop somehow. It just became about toys, like that motorcycle came out at the end. I'm like, what's that crap? It's like Batman thing.
And the new costume, like, not atrocious, but simply, obviously, significantly worse than the original.
It wasn't scary.
Nope.
He wasn't scary anymore. That's why I like the first one. He looks like a big clunky monster in the first one that if he touched you, he'll probably crush you. And the new one looks like steroids RoboCop, but Spider-Man version of steroids. I don't know. And then when he started running, I'm like, no, he weighs like 5 pounds
Yeah.
or something stupid.
And he had
just
that,
shake apart.
and the dumb uncovered hand, like when the bad guys just shoot that hand right off. I didn't like the hand. Okay, creepy.
Oh, you mean
Didn't he have?
the
He had
original?
one hand that was just an original bare hand, didn't he? The newer RoboCop.
that was supposed to be in the original movie too, though, I thought. Because they do a scene where he's like, we still got the hand, and the guy goes, lose the hand.
Yeah. So, perhaps it's a reference in the newer design, but I didn't like it.
No, I didn't like most of it. And then the part where he's the head with the lungs,
That was creepy. You didn't think that was creepy? It's like one of the.
Oh yeah, so that RoboCop Returns movie. I think they're trying to get Peter Weller to play RoboCop for it, or I don't know if they're going to get him to voice it or what. But even if he did the voice, it would be good because he is monotone. It was suited it. It's so metallic, even when he's talking normally. What was I watching him? Peter Weller was in.
He was in Star Trek Into Dumbness.
Oh, I never watched that.
Wait, who was in that?
You're not missing much, but
It's a cowboy show on Netflix.
oh,
Was an older guy. Started with W, I thought, but anyway, he played like the retired sheriff that was kind of crazy. And he was in
Interesting.
like, he played a good character. So
that's
I
kind
don't
of
know,
cool.
but it's kind of wrinkly.
Is it The Ranch?
Yeah, I hope it's not the ranch.
No, it's
That's
not.
that's the only cowboy Netflix show that I know of.
It's
Yeah,
No, what the heck is it called? Not
Does
Whitney,
Davin know?
it's-
Davin should be in charge of answering questions for you. Come on, Davin, tell us what show he's thinking of.
I
So-
can Google it in 2 seconds.
Oh, sure. Well, if you want to. So here we're in the level where you can find the hammer that allows you to unlock upgrades, and you completely redesigned this level, haven't you?
Oh yeah, that whole thing's new. That was fun. I made it just very linear to either go to where you get to jump the boots, and everybody tells you there's like 2 or 3 warnings. Hey, the boots are here, because that was one thing, people couldn't find the boots even though there was arrows pointing to the door and stuff.
Oh, the level was so vast before. It was huge.
Yeah, but it was all in one spot. I put
If you say so, mister.
Mhm.
I think one thing is you're encouraged to kind of try to go high, and then the hammer was actually way down at the bottom, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. It still technically is.
Ooh, I can go get the double jump. I should do that first, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Climbing animation's a little weird. Okay, there we go. I like the foreground objects and the lighting effects. Oh, hey. That frog guy just hit me out of nowhere.
Oh wow, I must be really lagging now. You just getting off the ladder.
Oh.
It was almost in sync, and the spinning wheel of death came up, and
Yeah.
And was that Stotch or Bumsley who said that orange vanilla Coke is really good? I've never heard of that.
I've never heard of it either.
I think it might
Seriously?
be new.
It is new, but I can't. People won't shut up about it.
Interesting.
I don't know how you haven't heard about it. I've seen billboards for it. I've seen commercials for it. People talk about it.
Well, it sounds like we're gonna have to try it, aren't we?
If we ever get
To
it.
me, it doesn't sound good at all. But
How about I'll give you guys some ketchup chip. You guys send me some of the orange.
I don't know how great that sounds.
yeah, I pass on ketchup chips.
You guys really not have ketchup chips?
I think I may have maybe once seen them in a store, but I certainly not commonly. So here I'm gonna
That's
go
like-
fight a boss.
Spider boss. Do you know the trick to this thing yet?
Feel free to. Just die right away is my trick.
Yeah, that's Paul's talent.
The stream froze on my end. I can't
Aw.
see what you're doing.
I'm webbed. Okay, I'm fine.
So the trick is, watch for the leaves, and just as the leaves stop, kind of move off to one side. Then you can jump up and shoot him in the head.
Oh,
You
nice.
hardly have to move for the whole fight.
Crap. Then I fell on the spikes.
Yeah, I think I ended up figuring that out when I was standing on the mushroom or something. I'm like, I can only move slightly to one side or the other, and I'll be just fine.
Okay, we'll try that.
You can fall in the hole. I just saw that.
Yeah, I told you, I'm not the best.
That's Paul's talent.
Okay, but I did get really far with no upgrades before, so it's just kind of playing on stream and, drinking and talking and all that. It's a lot. Oh, then he dropped me into the spikes. That was not nice. No,
That's funny.
it's not fair is what it is. No. Cool looking spider.
So the spiders originally were meant to be part of the tree boss fight.
Really?
Yep.
Whoa!
They were supposed to be a completely different mini boss, but the spiders were just too much to be with the tree boss. If you moved away from the center of the screen, they basically picked you up and ate you. And then the tree would smash you, so it was way harder. I'm like, you know what, maybe for a hardcore mode that might work, but it didn't work here at all. Because you just get destroyed. Oh, you're just barely getting...
I swear, I've beaten this before. I know no one can tell, but I've beaten this before. Oh, God. The leaves are a little bit deceiving, because they're not falling from exactly where the enemy falls from. They're kind of a little off to the side.
Falling from his thumb, but because he's so high up, the leaves fall slower than he does.
So that's why it's like that. Interesting.
They spawn from the very top of the map. So if you jumped up on top of a mushroom, you'll be able to see the top where they're spawning from.
Ha! Got him! In your face, spider! There's my double jump boots that I've wanted so much. Can I actually get up on those? I didn't realize I could
that's
jump on the
amazing.
tombstones.
You're just about to get the boots on my end. I was like, what? What do you mean you got them?
And why does Stotch keeps going on about karate kicks? What is this a reference to? Tyler, do you know?
On what?
In Discord, he was going on about karate kicks, and now he's doing it in chat too. Hello, Stotch, by the way.
Yeah, it's in reference to an old video stream or an old stream that some of us used to watch a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, no karate kicks for you, buddy. Although there is a new 4K version of the original Karate Kid movie that's either... I think it's just about to be out. I don't know if it's actually out. It might be out. But anyway, I really need to get that because that movie is also very good.
The one with Jaden Smith?
Not that one.
Oh. Thought that's the one you were talking about.
Yeah. Incidentally, that movie is okay. It doesn't need to exist, but it's okay. But he doesn't even do karate in that movie. It's kung fu. So...
Oh, I hope someone got fired for that blunder.
Well, in other countries, it is called the Kung Fu Kid, but in America, they stubbornly called it the Karate Kid, even though there's no karate in the movie. Like,
Yes, there is.
what wonderful. No, I'm talking about the Jaden Smith one, India.
Which
There's one starring a black kid named Jaden Smith, and he does Kung Fu. That's what he learns. He doesn't do karate.
Yes, he does.
No, he... Don't talk to me while I'm doing the stream. Princess Madelyn, my name is Chosen. Chris, for your next game, you should hire me to do proofreading of the script.
What did I miss?
Oh, well, there's a lot of parts where there need to be commas and there's no commas. And you know, I'm an English teacher.
That's the font screwing up.
Really?
Yes. When stuff gets edited and it's not copy and pasted back right, for some reason Google Docs and stuff like that have a different comma than what Unity uses. So if you don't go back and hand edit everything in after you drop text in, it'll be evil.
Aw, that's a real shame. I just fell and died. So this is different. You got little flags on the pathway. Is that intending to lead me to the hammer?
Yeah, just watch out for the frogs that jump up on them and break the butter.
Ah. And you also have a little compass thing, and that just, what does that point to?
That's pointing to one of the quest items.
Okay, but I can't get that until later in the game, right?
No, you can get it.
Oh.
Just keep going that way. What it is this a you go all the way to the right, and then you can go up and go back to the left, or it's like basically up in the middle of the level. Just watch you don't get grabbed by the tentacle plants.
Okay, that's cool. I can't remember if I originally got it or not.
Well, it's in a completely different spot now. Oh, and I think the key's up here too.
Ooh, I certainly could use a key. Ah!
Yeah.
I took one hit and got knocked into the spikes at the bottom. What a pain.
I'm watching a delayed stream, so I can't tell where you're going right now. I just saw you fall on the spikes. So right above where you died is basically where the statue is.
Oh.
For the key. And there's the door right there. Like, it's literally 2 screens away from each other.
So should I not go to the right and get the hammer, or is the hammer not to the right?
Well, you don't have the key to get the hammer yet.
Oh, I need the key, so... Alright, I was getting ahead of myself.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's up in the middle of the trees right next to where the quest item is, too.
Okay, I'll work my way up. There's the statue, yeah.
Watch out for the tentacle.
I didn't know you could kill those things, but you can, or at least stun them.
Oh, no, you can kill them.
Yeah,
Don't you just have to be able to hit them from high enough or whatever?
There's one thing, I always get too busy, and I wanted to do something with their death, and I never got around to it. It was supposed to dump bones when you killed it, like the thing in the
all the
Half-Life.
things that it eaten.
Oh, that would have been
Oh,
cool.
that's cool.
The bucket! I got the bucket.
I always get too busy, and I forget every freaking time. I mean, it's not important, but it's something I wanted in there, and I always forget to do it. There's the bucket. So another guy's in the game that I don't remember.
There's a hole in the bucket. No, I got it. Alright. Little Nemo is awesome. Professor
Like
Stotch.
sequel to that movie.
Completely different thing. In the 80s, well, actually, in the 1920s, there was a newspaper comic strip called Little Nemo that had really great art. And it's kind of mostly forgotten today, which is a real shame. Anyway, Capcom made an NES game of it. And they didn't?
Arcade. The arcade game.
Oh, did the arcade game
Capcom
come
did it.
first?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think it was first. But it's the one that's based off the movie. I think
see.
the Nintendo one came out after.
Yeah, there is an animated movie of it, which I quite like. It's not like completely wonderful, but it still holds up mostly. It's a fun little adventure.
I didn't know it was a movie. I knew about it was like a comic strip or something like that. And I never really looked into it. And it popped up on something in the movie, and I'm like, oh, that's where the Capcom arcade game's from. It's like they did the Willow arcade game as well.
Oh, that
And
game
then
was
they
so
had
good.
the Willow NES game, which is nothing like the arcade game.
But also a cool game all on its own.
It is, the art's amazing in it. I always like the art in it. It's a little bit Zelda, but I mean,
Definitely.
and I've got Little Nemo on Nintendo too. It's not the same game. It reminds me of Rescue Rangers, but you get inside of animals and wear them like a costume.
Do you? Yeah, that is weird. And is Little Nemo public domain? Darker Player asks. That's a good question. It might be owned by the family estate. They kind of messed up how copyright law works now, you know, so that Disney can retain ownership of Mickey Mouse. So, I could not tell you. But I think there's like a nice expensive volume of the original Little Nemo comics, and I would love to get it someday.
Isn't there a Captain Nemo too?
Yes. Is that who Little Nemo is named after?
Is what?
Is that who Little Nemo is named after? Captain Nemo, you know?
I don't know. What's Captain Nemo from?
From 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea by Jules Verne.
Oh,
That's what I
I never read that.
Ah. Well, did you ever see the movie League of Extraordinary Gentlemen? Because he's in that too.
Ugh, yeah.
I actually, it's an unpopular opinion, but I like that movie. Sorry.
That was Sean Connery that played him, wasn't it?
Yeah, Sean Connery's last movie. Like, he actually retired immediately after. He was getting very curmudgeonly at that point, and he fought with the director a lot, and so he considered it a bad experience and quit the biz after that.
The one disappointing thing is he said if he was ever going to come back and do a movie, he'd do another Indiana Jones, but then he didn't, and it was bad.
Yeah, that's a shame.
It's like, maybe not.
Is he still alive? I don't remember.
I was gonna say, is he dead?
He's not dead, I don't think.
I think
The
he's
whole
still
world would
alive.
know that.
I miss him. He was a great actor. Apparently, he's not,
Yeah,
not
I
a great
miss-
husband.
Still alive, but I miss him.
Well, it's not like we get to see him anymore.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think what I've seen Sean Connery in.
Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade? James
Nothing,
Bond?
yeah. Indiana Jones. I don't think I've seen any of the Sean Connery Bonds.
I actually haven't either, surprisingly.
Pierce Brosnan's the only true James Bond.
Is that so?
That's right.
I remember when I was a
in the
kid.
90s versions.
When I was a kid, and Pierce Brosnan had that TV show. What the heck was it called?
That's I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember what it's called.
The Hammer,
Anyway,
I found
so
it.
I was a little kid, and I'm like,
Hammer Time.
I want him to play Roger Moore because I think at that time it was Timothy Dalton was playing him. I didn't like Timothy Dalton's Bond at all.
Oh.
I'm like, I really want Remington Steele. That's it. I
Yeah,
really
Remington
wanted
Steele,
him
that's
to
a cool
play
name.
Bond
Oh,
because he
yeah.
looked like Bond.
That is a cool name.
He reminded me of Roger Moore, and I really liked the Roger Moore Bond because that was the one I kind of grew up with. So,
Yeah.
but I like Daniel Craig as Bond. The Casino Royale.
Casino Royale. Yeah, so good. I don't like the two after that, but Casino Royale I liked.
Which one is like the really depressing one?
All of them.
Is that the third one? The one where he lets the lady get shot and right in front of him?
Yeah, maybe. I
That was
thought maybe the
unpleasant.
first one too. What's the first one called?
Casino Royale was his
Daniel
first.
Craig, okay. Yeah, that one was weird too.
So sometimes when you rescue the kids, you have to do these little, what would you call it, like a defense thing, or?
Little
Yeah,
waves
it's
of
just an
enemies.
arena. We just call them arenas.
Gotcha. Because the kid can't actually be hurt, right? It's just you have to survive.
He turns into a whole bunch of bubbles now, and you save him too.
Wonderful.
I had some enemies spawn outside the walls once, and I couldn't get them killed. And there was no more spawning inside the walls.
Did it mess you up?
Yeah, I just had to restart.
Oh,
Not that big of a deal.
that's a shame.
That should be fixed now.
Good thing.
Yeah, that originally when you saved the kid, the dog would carry them around.
Oh,
And when you got keys, the dog used to carry the keys. But then I'm like, what do you do if you've got 2 keys in one level? We got to get rid of that. So
aw. That's too bad because that would have looked pretty neat, but I can see why it wasn't practical.
look, it just looked unfinished and weird. because the dog is like bobbing up and down, and the kid's just like having a party while he's floating in the air. So yeah.
Good luck, everybody. Good luck, not deady. Not dead yet.
No, I think it's over already.
Oh, did he join like after it was too late?
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
I
you're
think
right.
He's trying to do a command or something.
Oh, he's laggy or something. Sorry about that. In that case, congratulations to the winners. We don't pay a whole lot of attention to the giveaways usually. We just let Icky handle it. He's so good at that. Or one of our other mods. So, I got the hammer. I can go back and get upgrades. That's exciting.
So you go back to the. Oh, here's where you can use that thing.
Yeah, do the thing in the menu.
Yeah, go to the thing in the menu because I can't even remember.
Okay,
So
good.
Travel
old
to the nearest stone or
travel
whatever.
the teleport stone, and then when you do that, it takes you right next to where Finn is because he's next to the teleport stone.
Oh, that's perfect. That is really convenient. So you're cutting down on some of the backtracking that we'd have to do.
It's almost completely gone now. Like you can finish the game in 2.5 hours if you know where everything is.
Oh, that's wild.
And before, if you knew where everything was, it was like 5 to 6 hours even because you had to walk. So
I don't want to say how long I played it
Wow.
for, and I only got halfway through the game.
Good point, Icky. I don't know how much money Paul has, but the upgrades are kind of pricey.
Yeah, you're right. But I probably have enough for at least one, don't you think? Or does it say how much I have?
yeah, hit the
Inventory?
What?
Yeah, there it
go
is.
to your inventory.
Yeah, I have 1,300 something.
I think you need 1,500 and you need like 30 or 40 gems or something to get one of the upgrades.
Uh-oh, I only have 20 of each. So I shouldn't go back yet.
No, you don't have to.
Alright, and that...
Go fight the witches.
So go
Oh,
up and right?
That level is new too. Yeah, keep going to the right. But you get the hammer. I'm wondering, 20 gems. I'm trying to think of where the gems are in those levels.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Level 3 is the one. Level 3 you can like totally spam a place and like redo the level and keep going back and respawning the gem thing.
This is just
So-
nitpicking, but like this person who tells me the magical item is there after I got it, you know, wouldn't it be cool if they were like, hey, you found the item, or something instead?
Yeah. Oh, you know what?
Huh.
When I was redesigning this level, I just realized I didn't do this. There was supposed to be 2 blocks over top of the ladder. I wanted to make it so you had to break the blocks off the top of the well. I'm like, oh, I always look at that and I'm like, I wanted to do something there. What was it? I can't remember what it was.
Aw.
2 blocks you break. There's absolutely no point to it, but it was just something that's the satisfying and breaking something thing. So.
Oh yeah, that could be fun. So, Chris...
all you have to do now is walk across and go in the door.
Okay.
That's it.
I think I can handle that, hopefully. So we know you like platformers. What are some other games that you enjoy?
I have no idea. I hate video games.
Don't say that. Do you not like newer games? Ah,
I mean, I got it. I get just about everything that comes out, but I mean, the longer the games get now, the less interested I am in them. I find myself going back and playing Diablo 3 all the time. That's about it. It's like, it takes like 6 hours to play, but I can go back with my upgraded crap and keep playing it again, and I don't get bored of it for some weird reason. But I still haven't finished Red Dead Redemption 2. I just got bored of it.
aw.
Like it's like, hey, cool, I get to watch the horses balls for another 5 hours, and that was it.
They said that I haven't played it either. They said that game is boring. A lot of people I know don't like it.
I like it. It's just when I got to the point where I thought the game was gonna end, it kept going. And then I read what was coming ahead, and I'm like, oh, you know what? I don't like that ending. I don't want to see it. So
Dang.
I just kind of never bothered finishing it. And then there's, I got Resident Evil 2, and that was my favorite game when it originally came out. It had such a George Romero feel to the way it went, because it was campy. And then I got the new one, and I'm like, this is really hardcore horror now. And they took all the campy stuff out. So I was like, there's no quirky things happening in here. Everybody's like, well, I think the shop owner's still there. I'm like, but he's in Leon's story.
Oh, that's too bad.
I was just kind of disappointed. I like it, but it's not. It's so serious now. I don't care. like the funny bits or it's not funny. It wasn't funny. It's just the campy bits are gone, and I really like that part of it. That's what made the second one good for me when I was playing it. So.
That's too bad.
Yeah, and what else?
Ah,
I can't remember what else I bought lately. I got Assassin's Creed. What's the last one? Odyssey?
Yeah.
I think? Yeah.
Yeah, I got that on my PC, and I have like a really new PC with a 1070 video card, and the
Nice.
game ran like crap.
Oh,
And I was like, I got it at 1080p. Why is it running like crap? Because I got a 3D projector, and I usually just put it on that in my theater when I play, and it ran like crap. It's like, there's no way this game should run like this in this computer. Like something's wrong. And I just left it and walked away. I'm like, maybe it'll be like Assassin's Creed Unity where they'll fix the faces and the game will run on my computer one day.
huh. I wonder if the PC version is famously difficult, or, I mean, you know, whatever's wrong with it, if that's a common problem or not. Because I hadn't heard that before.
I haven't bothered to look into it. Like I bought it right after it came out. I was like, I'm like, I'll just wait a couple of months and try it again when patches are in. Kind of.
Not unreasonable. Did you redo this level too when you did the big update?
Oh yeah, this is a completely streamlined level now. You already almost done it.
Did I pass up the part, like, I was looking for the wall markings, I think I missed them. It's just, there's some kind of puzzle here where if you know the puzzle you can get an item or something.
Well, that hole down below is where the puzzle is. I'll just tell you what the puzzle is. So
Okay.
don't step on the switch. There's a switch there. You stepped on the switch.
Yeah, so what does it need to be on? Did I step on it enough, or do I...
I'm trying to remember. I think it's 2, 3, 1. I just go back down the hole. I can't remember now. It's
Okay.
been a while since I did it. I think it's 2, 3, 1. Whatever those pictures are. I can't remember.
Well, this one
Just
thing looks like you got a wang, a dagger, and a skull.
Yeah. Bat,
It's a scythe.
dagger, skull.
A scythe. Oh, sorry.
What? No, I said dagger. It's
No,
a bat,
oh,
a dagger. a
The one
skull.
on the left. It's a bat?
It's a bird or a bat. I
Oh,
can't
a bird.
remember.
Okay.
I can't tell.
It does look a little like the chicken wing from Golden Axe.
That's in something. What did I do? I could have swore the chicken. It's called the chicken stinger or something like that. It's like the lizard, pink and yellow lizard.
Yeah.
I could have sworn I used a similar design for something.
Yeah, that'd be cool. So, I need to go hit the switch some, or what?
We have to make it bat sword skull.
Yeah, you gotta hit the bird switch, the sword switch, then the skull switch. I think it's 2, 3, 1. So, I've got it memorized. Go ahead and go back up.
Okay. Which I do by going around to the left, right? Is that how I get there?
Yeah, left.
Okay. Cool. Well, it's handy having someone who knows everything on mic with you, that's for sure. Yeah, but originally I solved the puzzle all on my own, and I was proud of it, because I was like, I was anticipating getting stuck on it, trust me. Yeah, because I had to delete my save file, just so everybody knows. I ran into that bug we talked about earlier, and I deleted my save file, like, right before they fixed the problem. But that's okay, because we wanted to show you the beginning of the game anyway, and the streamlined levels. Okay, so now what do I do up here?
Bat,
Bat,
sword,
sword,
switch. So don't step on the switches in the wrong order. That's it. So jump over the first one, and then yeah. So it's 3. Is it really 3, 2, 1? No, it's 3, 1, 2. Okay. So go to the third button, step on it. Go to the first button, step on, then go to the second button, step on, then she'll tell you solved it.
So by third one, you mean the one that looks like a
The
bird
one that's
thing?
between two bats. Yeah, the button between the two bats.
Okay, and step on it 3 times?
Just once.
Just once.
No, just one.
Oh.
I'm watching the lag video, so I'm talking kind of watching.
Okay, and then I go to the 3, 2, 1, so...
No, 3, 1, 2, I think.
Oh,
What's
so-
the second? Davin's got it written there. It says sword.
Step on the sword, the one in between
Bird,
the swords
sword,
next.
skull. Okay, gotcha.
First one.
Thank you, Davin and Icky. And then the skull last.
Yeah.
It sounds like a gate open somewhere. Booyah. Thank you, guys.
Wow, I'm that far behind you. I haven't even got to the sword switch yet.
Aw.
if you refresh your browser, it'll probably catch you
I'm
up.
not in the browser. I'll get the Twitch app running. Hold on.
It's that high quality Canadian internet he's got.
Yeah.
What have I got? I've got a high. I've got like the really fast fiber up.
Ooh, nice. In that case. So where do I go after that?
Right.
Go to the witch. Where'd you
Wait.
go? You went back down.
I thought that's where I was supposed to go. I'm not.
No, the gate opened up.
To the right. it
Literally,
opened up. My
it's
bad.
literally a straight line across. I mean, you go up a ladder and you go back across when it's the boss. It's just a
Gotcha.
zigzag. There's no exploring left in the first parts of the game because
So-
everybody is being lost.
Fair point. But I mean, wasn't there? There's no secret item. It's just that's what you need to do to progress. Is that it?
Yep. Too many people complained about the puzzle, so I just destroyed the level.
Oh, well. Did I have this little life originally where 2 hits kills you? Like, that's how it always was, huh? Until you buy upgrades?
Yep.
Okay. I guess I've just forgotten. It has been a while. Darn archers. Okay, here we go. So, Chris, do you still have a day job, or is, Causal Bit your full time right now?
Oh, Puzzle Bit's been my full time for a while now.
Um,
I don't make much, but I mean, it's
well, you show an amazing level of dedication to refining your games, which is really awesome.
yeah. Some people might call that obsessive or crazy.
They just might.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I enjoy what I do. It's a lot of fun to make your own worlds come to life kind of thing. I mean, it's a lot of work, but still. Seeing the end result and seeing people play it is like, I don't know, it's a lot of fun. Like, I don't like watching other people play my games. I don't know what it is. I like it, but I don't. I'm afraid to see bugs because it sucks when it happens.
It's
It's
frustrating. Huh?
embarrassing. So, but no, like nothing terrible is happening. I haven't actually seen any bugs while you're playing, so that's good. Except for like that one glitch with the keys at the start. But
Oh yeah, I'm having fun. There's a left path and a right path here at the end. The left path has a door. Is that the boss door? Or is that one of the side
yeah,
paths?
that's the boss.
Okay, so I
What do you
don't want to
mean?
go to the right.
You came from the right, didn't you?
I mean, when I got up, it looked like there was a left and right.
Oh,
at
that's
the-
just it's if you go right, there's just like a ghost in there with a doll or something.
Oh, well, let me go get that then. I am a completionist. Oops. Ah. No need to put off what can be done right now. That's what I say.
I'm just saying there might be a ghost there. I can't even remember now.
Uh-oh. I mean, if there's nothing, I'm going to be sad.
No, I know there's something there. I just can't remember. I'm pretty sure it's a ghost.
It is a
This
ghost.
is the lack of sleep. So I'll give you an example of lack of sleep. At some point, I had bought myself Zombies Ate My Neighbors from the SNES,
Oh, neat.
and I didn't remember doing it. I didn't know I had the game.
That's
So-
funny.
I go to the local pawn shop last night, and I'm like, "Hey, cool, you get Zombies Ate My Neighbors," and I got both of them. And I'm like, "Yeah, I love this game. I haven't played it in ages." And I go home and I look on my shelf, and there it is.
Aw.
Like, so I had to go take it back to them. Like, I already had this.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you were gonna gift it to somebody or something. Oh, dang it! So I just died after collecting the ghost. I don't have to go back and get the ghost again, right?
To get the ghost again? No.
Yeah, I don't have to. Okay, that's good.
No, once you get something, you got it. It saves when you do it.
That's a good thing. Very good. All right, let's see how the witches go. Who are you to think you could challenge us? Uh-oh. They eat kids like us for breakfast and lunch. Madelyn O'Lonergan. Does that last name mean anything?
Lonergan.
Oh, Lonergan.
Lonergan is my mother's last name, so technically we're Lonergans on my mom's side.
Oh.
So it is the family name, and it's for that side of the family. And whenever you see the flags where there's like 3 flowers and 2 crossed arrows, that's the family crest.
Oh, that's really neat. What a personal game this is.
Unfortunately.
So you mentioned when you were talking about games that you played, you mentioned some of the big AAA games, but do you ever play other indie platformers?
A few. I try not to play them because I don't want to lift ideas from games that are similar.
Oh,
By
that's funny.
accident, consciously, it's like, yeah, where did I get that from?
You know what that makes me think of, and I'm not accusing you of this, but Japanese developers like, you know, the big Japanese developers like Yu Suzuki and all those kind of guys. Like, I've read some interviews in which they mentioned that they don't really play other games. And sometimes I'm thinking, you know, if you guys played other games, you might actually be able to make your games better because you would kind of see how, like, UIs and stuff have advanced. But but like, they don't seem to actually be gamers themselves. Like, they're just making games out of their head, but they don't have, like, other gameplay influences. So
I only don't play other indie games for that reason, because I don't want to lift something that somebody's doing or just did. Like, I'll play AAA games and get ideas from that stuff, and I go back and play stuff. I try to modernize the ideas in my own way, instead of just, you know, look what he did, do that. Sometimes I do that though, where it's like, we already know that works, do something like that kind of thing. But
yeah, well, I mean, that's the nice thing about the, like, English-speaking development community is, like, there's kind of a willingness to help each other and stuff. I don't know, like, somebody learns something and then everybody else seems to learn it. And I'm doing really badly here because I'm talking. So,
focus on one witch at a time, because if you attack both of them, one of them's going to start tossing lightning at you and you're really going to have a bad time.
Ooh. Okay, and the pattern is they shoot 2 high shots and then a low shot, or
2 high, 2 low, and then they go back up, and then one of them will shoot 3 shots at you as they go across the screen.
okay,
And
when
it's always in the corner, the middle, and then the other corner, and then they go back into their pattern again. It's probably the most patterned boss in the whole game. But I did take them out of arcade mode because there's just something I didn't like the way it felt at first, and I don't know. We'll put something.
Oops.
Last one in there. Oh, and the cauldron in the back is a reference to the Black Cauldron.
Oh, neat! I haven't seen that movie in ages.
It was originally one of the things that influenced the story, and the ending changed, but it was originally way more like the Black Cauldron. Where, do you know the end of the game or not?
No, I never beat it, so you better not tell me. Yeah, we don't want to spoil it for the kids at home.
I won't tell you how it ends now. So the way it was originally supposed to end was like the Black Cauldron, but it was going to be where when she does the lightning, stand directly, like basically where the face is on the cauldron, and you won't get hit. The ending started with
Dang it!
the dog is dead, and you're sad.
Oh.
And what the witches come back at the end and say, we'll trade you your father's sword for your dog. And then they were going to bring the dog back to life.
Ah.
And I was just like, it's not very realistic, I can't handle it. I think I rewrote the ending like 3 times at least. It was gross. I just wasn't happy with it. I'm like, do I want a sad ending? Do I want to have a super happy ending? Do I want a bittersweet ending? Like, it's just because the dog is based on a real dog that we used to have, and
Aww.
It was just, it's like, how do I want to handle this? Because the whole reason why the dog is in the game is because he was about to die when I was doing it.
Oh, goodness.
And Maddie was really upset. So, we'll put the dog in the game. She can have the dog forever. It was kind of her first pet, even though it was my parents' dog. So,
Huh.
she started growing up with him. So,
That's really cool. You're able to immortalize the dog and her grandparent, right? The grandfather, that way, putting them into your art. That's really awesome.
which grandfather?
Well, isn't one of the grandparents deceased? The grandfather in the intro?
Oh, that's my grandfather. Yeah, that was my grandfather. He died while he was kind of thing. Well, it's her great grandfather.
Gotcha.
Yeah. That happened right around the start of when Davin started porting the prototype over to Unity. So we just went to Disneyland. The start of that year sucked. It's like the most epic sucky year of my life. I mean, just everything kept going wrong. It's like stuff's kind of crappy with the job. Stuff in life was going wrong. My mom had like a sudden, surgery she had to go do before we went to Disneyland. The dog's about to die, and so we go to Disneyland. Mom couldn't go, so we go with her mom because she had to just take it easy after operation. We go there. We have a good time. And we found out that Lena was pregnant with my youngest daughter, Sophia.
Aww.
And we didn't tell anybody really before we left. So we got down there, we came back, and then the day after we came back from Disney, I wanted to go see my grandfather and tell him. That was the day he died. We went in to see him and he died.
Oh,
so
dang.
he found out. He found out that we were having Sophia, and then that was it. So that's he's there. So.
Well, at least you got to tell him. That's something. But God, that must have been terrible.
And it kept getting worse. So we knew the dog was gonna die, but then it happens, and then other stuff just kept happening after that. I'm like, what the hell is going on with this year? And then there was problems with Sophia. Like while Lena was pregnant, there was just problems with that. And we're always in panic mode, and I'm working overtime at my job, so I can't come home like with Lena. She was always by herself. And it's just insane the amount of crap we went through at the start. And then when Sophia came out, everything it was like life flipped the switch. It's like, here's your kid, she's great. Here's some money. Go make your game, you can leave your day job now. What happened? My luck changed suddenly. It was going really bad here for a bit. So, yeah, it was a rough year, but by the end it was good.
Yeah, I'm glad things got better. By the way, before I leave this area, I wanted to show you another spot where, like, it'd be good to put the comma back in. Let's see if I can get over there.
There's another comma missing?
Yeah, over here at the shop. Get back to this shop.
Oh, you're in the toy shelves in my view.
Oh yeah, I was just looking. I mean, I was doing other things because you were talking, and I wanted to just have something else on the screen. But here we are at the shop. He says, I require more materials, lass. And there needs to be a comma after materials, because otherwise it's like he wants a materials lass, whatever that is.
Okay.
And I'm a total nitpicker about that stuff, but maybe it'll be helpful to you someday.
Well, you know what? Next time we're doing a game, I'm just going to get you to go edit everything.
That would be really cool. I've done it for a fan translation and an app before, but never for like an actual console game. That would be exciting.
I don't think I'm gonna go so texty on our next games because it was a lot of text. It was crazy. And you gotta have people translate it, and then when you get into the translation, you get into all the lot check issues with like the different companies. Like you'd renamed, like one of them renamed a button or something like that, and then we fail lot check. It's like, when did that happen? It should be the same button colors for everything.
Oh, yeah. And didn't you have an issue where the Spanish translator introduced a mistake into the translation, and then it got rejected for that?
It was one of the buttons got translated to Spanish, and that was it. It was like, I don't know if it was left stick or something like that, or I can't remember, but it was one of those buttons.
Complete a quest.
And it was in Spanish, and that got us rejected. And I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, that must have been frustrating.
Yeah, that's all right. I mean, there was other stuff with it, so it wasn't a big deal. Like, there's the text for one of the languages was coming out blurry for some reason, so that had to be fixed. So it's just, there's so many little moving pieces with it that it's hard to watch it all, especially when there's only like 2 people working on the game all the time. There's a couple of people, but they're only part-time, right?
Right.
So, and then we have the translators. They're all in different places. We can't read what they're translating, so we don't know if it's correct. So, yeah. I mean, French, I can read that, but like the German and the Spanish, I can't really tell. So,
Are you bilingual then? French and Canadian? I mean, French and English?
I can read, but I can't speak.
Huh.
So, just because we have French class here, so.
Oh,
And
nice.
you're going with
see.
mandatory.
Because you live in Nova Scotia, is that right?
Yep.
Very cool. So
It's
where do
mostly-
Real quick,
Go
where
ahead.
do I go next to progress the story since we got about 10 minutes left?
Oh, back to the swamplands and just walk straight across both maps.
Gotcha.
That was the other reason I redid the second part. Like swamplands, you still have to fight to get across I keep calling them marshmallows, the mushrooms.
Yeah.
And then once you cross that part, you walk straight across, jump across the pillars, but keep going straight, don't go up. And then, like, you're in the next level. That's like, everybody was complaining that the cave was huge, and you had to go all the way back and forth, like, fighting everything, and it was a really hard level at the start. So that's why I just, like, totally destroyed it. Like, the puzzle got destroyed, everything just got shrunk. So, I don't mean, it's not even a quarter as big as it was originally. It's either you go up or you go to the right. And then, have you been to the third level in the new version yet?
No, not in the new version.
Okay, so that's the last level I completely redid. So that was the underwater one where you had to do like the big maze underwater and then come up on the other side.
Ah.
Now it's basically you go into the water, go down, go to the right, go up, you come out of the water. And that's it. And then there's a giant mountain full of people. Whereas they're all spread out over little hills in the original one. You just go up and there's like 4 people in a town. There's buildings and stuff now. So everybody's in one spot.
Well, that'll be cool. Did I go the wrong way? I forget. I wasn't paying enough attention when you said
No,
that.
you're going the right way. But I'm seeing that guy in the water right now. I'm going straight across.
Uh-oh, you're breaking up a little bit. But you say just go across the water? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Yes, I believe Tyler had a lot of trouble with the third level when he played, didn't you, Tyler?
Yeah, the one with all this one that you're on.
No, the water one after this.
The water one? I didn't have any issues with the water. This was the one that was like really big and I kept getting lost and stuff.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, that's the reason why I killed this one. Everybody's getting lost. My problem is, have you ever played the game Black Tiger?
No?
No. Isn't that like a really bad game or something?
No.
It's a classic, right?
It's like Ghosts and Goblins. It's by Capcom, but you have
Deadpool.
upgrades and stores and stuff. So this level, I did it in Insanity's Blade too. I just love climbing the pillars, and then I get obsessed with making this giant level full of pillars. And I just want to do pillars and stuff. And I don't find it hard because like I own the Black Tiger arcade board and I play it a lot.
Ah.
So it's like this game's not hard for me, but then and that's one of those things I don't think about for other people. It's like they've never played this friggin' hard game before, so I'm used to how the thing's gonna work. So yeah, go down, you can jump through the graphics. The way I work, the graphics are different here. So the light blue you can jump through now. I think it was just a background tile set before that you didn't interact with. So yeah.
Huh. So I like how you explain how she can breathe underwater. The dog is helping her.
Yeah, I came up with that really quick, and I don't know how. So you know what? Let's do something really dorky looking. Make the dog a helmet.
Well, I mean, it takes advantage of what you've got, so it's clever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Another thing, that was actually supposed to be a separate set of armor that looked like a lizard, and I was gonna make it just a swimming level. And I'm like, I don't want to draw armor anymore, because whenever I do the armor, it's a whole new sprite set with all the animations. So I'm like, oh great, so I have to draw a new helmet on like 60 to 70 frames of animation. I don't think I can think of that one anymore.
So you couldn't have had just like the armor be like sprites that are overlaying her body? That wouldn't have worked?
No, it doesn't, no, because I still have to draw all the movements, so.
Oh yeah, you're right, so what difference would it be? Yeah, good point. Silly me.
Like, the biggest shortcut would be to take, like, I've got other armors I didn't use in the game. I could have just made them green and changed the helmet.
Oh.
I was like, let's lazy, and I still got to do the swimming animations for throwing and everything. So it would actually put in a new set of controls that would have to work.
Ooh.
Oh, you don't have to do that yet. This is where the kid is with the key.
So don't do it or do it? 'Cause-
Don't bother yet.
Okay. What you're describing reminds me of the arcade version of Athena. Have you played Athena?
Of what?
Athena from SNK.
That's really old.
Yeah, well, she has like an underwater version. Like when she goes into water, she can turn into a mermaid. I don't know. It just made me think of that because I played it like a week ago.
I've never played it. I don't think I've ever played it. I know of it, but I don't think I played it.
It's a really
First thing
interesting game.
Is it on anything beside the arcade?
Yeah,
Like,
it's
is it-
in SNK 40th Anniversary Collection, which, you know, is on PS4 and Switch. And, yeah, I recently...
POW.
Oh, sorry?
Is POW in it?
Yes, POW's in it, which is a really cool beat 'em up. The arcade
I love
version
it.
and the NES version both, which
Oh,
is
I love
above
the
and
NES
beyond the Call of Duty. I know the NES version lacked co-op, which was a big disappointment.
Yeah. I remember renting that when I was a kid. And like, oh man, it's only one player. It's like getting Final Fight on the SNES, though. It's like, oh, the graphics are so good on the Super Nintendo. Where's the second player? Where's Guy in level 4?
Yeah, and even when they did Final Fight Guy, which was the first Japanese game I ever bought, they still didn't add two-player mode back in. You know, they made some nice little quality of life improvements, but no two-player mode. That wouldn't happen until the Game Boy Advance or the Sega CD versions.
Oh, Sega CD was so good.
So good.
I've got both versions. Well, I have not both. There's 3 technically, but I've got the Japanese and the American one.
Rad.
And the Japanese one is uncensored, like the arcade one. So when you see the TV intro, it's like the chick isn't in a red dress; she's in her bra, kind of thing. And when you're fighting women in the game,
The shirt flies up.
that you see the bottom of their boobs when you're hitting them, and then in the American version, they're covered up. So it's just weird that they did something like this. Like, who's paying attention? Obviously, I was. So it's just weird, though. It's like, why did you? I wouldn't have noticed it if you didn't do it.
Young Paul loved that as well. By the way, like the seaweed that can hurt you, I wish it stood out a little more or something. I don't know, for whatever reason. Sometimes I run into it and I just don't realize that it's going to hurt me.
It's supposed to be glowing. Isn't it glowing?
I mean, it is.
Oh, it is glowing.
It is glowing, but I think the colors are so similar to the rocks that they're on. Maybe that's why, for me, it's blending together.
It's not the color that it's on. It's more the lighting's too heavy in there. There's a blue filter for the water over top of everything, and it makes everything like the background bluish, even if it's pink, because the actual color of the seaweed is bright pink.
Huh.
So it's the lighting into the water that's doing it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I found a ghost. Is that a little... Oh, it was the chest next to her. I thought maybe a switch. Hooray for finding ghosts.
I don't know where you are right now, because right now you're underwater.
Yeah, the underwater ghost.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
Yeah.
I didn't remember putting it. That's
oh,
good.
that's funny. Nice. Yeah, and by the way, just real quick, I want to talk about SNK 40th Anniversary, because usually I talk up my recent reviews, you know? And I reviewed that one, and it has only SNK games prior to 1990, which is when they transitioned to the Neo Geo and never looked back, right? And I know some people have complained that it doesn't have some of their big Neo Geo games like Metal Slug or Fatal Fury or whatever, but in getting this collection, I was reminded that SNK actually had a lot of really cool, interesting games before the Neo Geo, such as Athena and POW and other stuff. So that was really cool to me. Crystallis, of course.
Is there a game called Search and Destroy that's kind of like Ikari Warriors, but there's zombies in space?
Yes, in fact, it has like 5 or 6 different games of that genre.
Yeah, I love that game.
Neat, and it's co-op too, so that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a tank one where it's the same kind of controls and stuff, but you're in a tank, and that one was called TNK3, and a few others too. So, really neat collection. Oh, this one's missing an apostrophe. In the Ive, there's no apostrophe. Sorry.
It's an honor to meet you. Yeah, that's lost in Google cut and paste to box translator.
Yeah, that's a frustrating... It's funny that it introduced all those problems.
It does it with commas and it does it with apostrophes.
Oh man, what a pain.
But they're in there, but you actually have to go back in and type them in, because when you look at it on screen, it's really tiny, and the only way you can tell where it is how little space there is between the two letters and the apostrophe or the comma. It's like, did I fix that one yet? I think I did.
Oh, what a pain.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So, am I anywhere near, like, an area where we could show off a boss, or should we try to wrap up? It's up to you.
You're getting close. So the guy up here would have been, not that guy, but the guy to the right and a little bit lower. He has a beard and spiky hair, I think. He has, he tells you to go save a kid back in the cave. So you save that kid in the cave, and then you go back up and talk to the guy with the beard, and he gives you the key. And then you can fight the tree boss in the next stage. You're probably about 10 minutes of work away from that.
Okay, do you want to just do that to cap off the stream?
Sure.
Alright. Because we're having a great time talking to you. Poor Tyler, not letting him talk very much.
Oh, I'm just fine.
We both like learning about game development, though. You know, like I told you, we've had indie developers on the stream every now and then. Probably only like every 6 months or so, but it's always quite a pleasure. So, which way do I go? Back to the left? Oh, I just felt a long way.
Yeah, go back to almost the start. It's more of a shortcut than going through the. It's more of a shortcut than going through the door that's actually closer to you at that point. So yeah, you knock a bridge down here. I can see the chain sticking out of the top of the tree.
Uh-oh.
So you can jump down through this bridge.
Yeah, I did that.
Okay, yeah, you just did it on my screen. So yeah, go back to where the very bottom left-hand corner of this part of the map.
Gotcha.
And then once you do that, there's a door to the left of where you got the key to go into it originally. I think, yeah, you went in the door already, so go back in that door. And the kid is just to the right in that level. And you just like fight off all the skeletons, save them, and you go back up to the guy that told you to go save him, and that's it. Man, my stream's really cutting up.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. At least we only had that one little tiny part where the sound wasn't working well, and it's been fine since then. Okay, going to the right.
I don't know what, it's probably Twitch on my end. It's just weird because it works really well, and all of a sudden it just stops. And there's a good chance there's two people above me watching high-def Netflix right now, and I'm on the wireless list, so and I keep getting my wireless, or my phone next to my wireless receiver, so it's probably freaking out.
Oh, yeah, the interference. Yeah, thank you for watching, everybody. If you want to stick around just a few more minutes, we're going to show you one more boss, because the bosses are certainly a highlight of this game. Okay, which direction was the kid? He's off to the left somewhere? Or?
Upper right-hand corner.
I was just in the upper right-hand corner.
When you walked in, you just had to walk to the right.
But I did that.
Did you? You're down in the bottom left, or bottom right now.
But I went up to the upper right first. Like, now I'm there again in the very upper rightmost corner. Yeah.
Right there. Oh, nice. He didn't show up. For some reason, he doesn't show up sometimes. Go back to the teleport stone.
Okay. Teleport to travel stone?
Yeah, and then go back into the level again, and he'll be there. Sometimes it just doesn't pick up in that level for some reason. It's really weird.
Oh, that's frustrating. But at least there's a workaround. Okay, and from the stone, which way do I go again?
To the left and back down through the bridge.
Gotcha. Alright, I'll be right there. So Tyler, what have you been playing lately?
I have been playing Division 2 still, and The Messenger.
The Messenger
just came out on PS4. It was on Switch for a while. It's like Ninja Gaiden.
Oh, I thought it was about Joan of Arc.
Nope. And that's mostly it. I haven't been playing a whole lot of anything. I was gonna get that Sekiro game, but then I didn't get it.
Shame on you. It's so good.
Yeah, I should have got it. But
Chris, do you like the Dark Souls games?
No, and I ended up buying that Shadows Die Twice game.
But you haven't played it yet?
I didn't pay attention to who made it. I'm like, man, that looks really good. And then I got it, and I'm like, am I playing a Dark Souls game as like a samurai or a ninja or something?
Basically,
and
yes.
They go from software. I'm like, I just screwed myself right there because I'm really bad at these games.
There's the kid. Yeah, that was what we streamed last week, and I mean I died maybe 4 times. Usually it was because I forgot which button was the attack button, because right
That's
bumper.
what I do.
Yeah, it's weird having that be the attack button, but whatever.
And there's something else to do with blocking or moving out of the way, like a dodge button, that I keep getting backwards, and I don't know what it is. It's another game's control scheme messing me up, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
I press these certain buttons to do something, and then I end up like rolling into the enemy, and he has like a 10-foot sword and kills me every time.
well, that's funny that we both have the same problem. But in Sekiro's defense, the buttons are fully remappable, so like you actually can make it more intuitive if you go through the effort. I haven't done so though. But it's nice. Like, is remapping controls a real complicated thing? Because it's not that common in games anymore.
It's complicated. Just depends on how many buttons are in a game. Like, back when there were only 2 buttons, it was pretty super easy. You know, like I want jump here and I want shoot here. And for us, like, people are on the Switch are going, but your B and your A buttons aren't what they're supposed to be. And I'm like, that's because we set it up like a Super Nintendo controller. So it's on a Super Nintendo controller, when you play any of these games, it's always Y to shoot and B to jump. And that's the way we're used to playing it.
Yeah, me too.
And why isn't A shooting? It's like, because Y shoots on every game for Super Nintendo ever. Used to it. So,
Yeah, if they ever don't, then it feels wrong.
yeah, it feels so weird putting it on that button.
So do I want to teleport to the travel stone or work my way to the right? Don't I have to work my way to the right?
Oh yeah, teleport to the travel stone. It's like, I don't need to walk back up there. Teleport, and then you jump back up the mountain, talk to the guy, he gives you the key, then you walk to the right to the ruins and make your way to the boss.
So I jump up, and by the way, what is this little metal thing hanging in one of these trees, like at the top of one of the trees?
That's the hook from the bridge. It shouldn't be there.
Okay, that explains it. So I can jump up to the right from here? From the
yes.
stone?
Well, I don't think you can get, maybe you can make that jump. You get double jump, try it.
Alright.
I've never tried it before. I usually just get
Slightly too short. There's a door. Is that the one that I came out of already?
Yeah.
Or... Wait, this is a different door.
That's the other entrance. Don't go in. That's the far.
Gotcha. Alright, so then we got a downward path, and it can jump over the downward path maybe and go... Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Yeah, you want to go up the mountain to the right, like, yeah, across the hole and up. There's I think there's a ladder? Yeah, ladder. I'm watching it delayed.
Have you found my cup?
I don't remember where the cup is. Where the heck is it? I think it's later in the game.
He wants me to spell ICUP. No, I said that wrong. Anyway, you added a quest log, so we can actually kind of track what quests we have going. That's really nice. Which quests we have going.
Oh yeah, I did a new font for that. I forgot.
Ooh. Have you found my comb? This other guy asked. Boy, they all want stuff out of me. Is she a battle princess
Those
or
are
an
all
errand girl?
Kickstarter backers. All of them are Kickstarter backers.
That's pretty neat. So they sent you a
So,
headshot,
yeah,
I
this guy-
assume?
What?
They sent you a headshot and then you did a drawing based on it?
Yes.
And does this guy in real life have pendulous breasts?
No.
Oh, bummer. No. Okay, so he gives me the key. Yay. Okay,
You
but I
just
guess...
jump right to the right.
Ooh, okay.
Double jump to the right, and you'll probably land right on the exit.
Yeah, there's a temple or something.
Yeah.
Alright, and so this is going to take... This is a short level or what?
It is what it is. It's not long.
Oh, well. These obstacles
Just
to
watch out for the
navigate.
trap. This was... Yeah, you get the trap as soon as I said it.
Yeah. I learned my lesson.
This level is the same as it was originally.
Oh, Icky's being... Sometimes we call our friend Icky Picky Icky. He's being picky about the quest log. Oh, Icky.
It's funny. I'm gonna head out, guys.
Okay, thank you.
It's been fun chatting with you.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Tyler. Always good hanging out with you.
See ya.
Have a good night.
You too.
Yeah, we've got just a few minutes left of the stream, if everybody can bear with us. Here we go. Yeah, the only... Okay, besides letting the B button back out of those submenus, the only other big requests I would have would be, like, you know, for collectible tracking, but if that's not in the cards, we'll just have to live with it. Okay.
Yeah, that would probably be a lot of work to get into the game.
Unfortunate. Okay. I think I'm...
The button back out shouldn't be a big deal, but the tracking thing, we'd have to add extra code to all the objects and then make them work with the map.
Oh gosh.
And I think that was roughly a month of work to get
Wow.
the other stuff going. So it's a lot of scripting and a lot of testing because there's a lot of objects and a lot of levels and a lot of maps and stuff. So that's as well.
Yeah. We lay people can never understand how much work goes into this, but I know you put like hundreds of hours or thousands of hours of work into it. Oh, I don't have that key.
No, that key's back the other way. That's the treasure room. So that key's back around the ladder you come down to get to this part.
Ooh.
And there's 2 treasure chests in it that spawn gems. And this is where you can spam them. So they drop like, 10, 20 of both kinds of gems and you kill them, and then there's another one on the other side, you kill that one. And then you can restart the whole level, like warp to the teleport stone and walk back and then go back into that room and kill them again and get more gems. So you can just like totally upgrade right on the spot.
So it's a good farming trick.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat. And is it by design or it just happened to work out that way?
Half and half. Like I knew it was gonna happen, but I made it so it was far enough of a walk for it. So I was okay with it being there, because if you need to restart the level, you have to do the level again. So you're gonna have to fight your way back to the door again. So if you want to do the work, it's worth the work.
Okay, well, my instinct is to just turn around and go for it, but we're trying to hurry up and get to the boss, so we'll do that instead.
Yeah, just go to the boss, because...
Yeah, I know, and you're staying up, because you're in a totally different time zone that we don't even have in the U.S., so it's really late for you, isn't it?
Am I on New York time?
New York is in Eastern time, and you're an hour...
Yeah. I'm Atlantic, so
Yeah.
I'm... Oh, maybe was it Florida? I can't remember. I thought that was somewhere in the States.
Maybe a corner of Florida or something. But to me, it's like some alien time zone. Like you're playing from you're co-hosting from the moon, basically. Okay, a little farther.
Yeah, the boss is just up and to the right after you get that. Well, you might be further than what I'm seeing, but
Yeah,
this level's pretty linear. There's very little hidden stuff in it.
no, not bad. Yeah, I just need to remember to go back and what is it that I'm going to look for when I'm trying to get to that?
There's
key?
a mini statue. So the first big ladder you go down, like you do the whole first upper level, and then you go down a really long ladder, and there's a hole to the right of the ladder, and then you go to the left to continue the level. To the right, on the other side of the hole, there's a statue with a key.
I probably got that the first time. I played like 10 hours the first time, I was very meticulous. So here I'm just trying to rush through things. And we got to the big bad tree. So
This
yeah,
is probably one of my favorite things I drew when I was doing the game.
Ooh.
Mind you, it took a long time to draw it. I do it pixel by pixel. I actually use my mouse to do this stuff.
Really?
Oh yeah, I've been doing it since I was a kid, so I'm fast at it, and I get a really nice mouse that it tracks my movement really well instead of something that does jaggy lines whenever I try to draw it. So I usually zoom way in and I pick a base color and I start working with the base color for my shapes, and then I start doing detail work. But the more detail work I get, the more clicky it gets. So it's less lines and more dot, 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 click, 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 and if anybody's around, it's probably really irritating with me work. So.
I do not remember what to do here at all.
Just jump straight, stay under the nose and jump straight up, and when the spiders fall, dodge the spiders, but you can jump up on the hands while they're in position. I've actually got this weird way of doing it that's almost like a zigzag pattern. So when the first hand falls, after it goes back up, you jump up onto it, walk out to the tip of the finger, and keep shooting upwards while you're jumping. And then you can do it over and over again, and you almost never get hit.
I may not be able to accomplish that.
Maybe I should put the spiders back in.
Put what back in?
The spiders.
No, that's okay. Leave it how it is.
It's funny because once you figure that boss out, it's like the easiest boss in the game. You just stand in one spot and jump and shoot up the whole time. Once you get the timing down.
Okay. Yeah, it's... Believe me, I mean, you did a stream one time, right? Like, you know, talking and playing at the same time, it's just challenging.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody sets the door. Don't know what that is. So, if I want to avoid the hands, what do I do?
When they're about to swing, jump. It just cut out as you said that, too.
Just jump straight up, don't... not to the side?
Just a little bit to the right if the first hand's coming down, and it won't hit you while you're jumping.
Okay. Alright, I gotta...
This stream's doing like 1 frame a second for me.
Oh, that's no good. Alright, well, I'm also playing horribly at the same time. Come on, Paul, overcome this one last challenge. Okay, so... That worked. I jumped into the guy and got hit. Because I guess the root around him is...
Yeah, and he's got that sharp thing he's holding. It's vines and thorns and garbage.
Alright, kinda got this, maybe.
Have you ever played a game called Equinox before on Super Nintendo?
I saw that, but I never played it.
I got it today.
Oh.
I'm like, yeah, let's get that. It's an RPG, isn't it? And I don't have it, so...
Wait, Equinox, is that the sequel to Solstice?
I don't know.
I believe it is. Solstice was an isometric puzzle platformer, or maybe just a platformer, I don't know. No, it was like a platform adventure, kind of like a Zelda-style game, but isometric and very mazy, and I think Equinox is a sequel. Anybody in the audience know for sure?
So, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Woo! Hooray for
I like this.
random trivia. Yay, I did it! You're right, it actually wasn't bad at all once I understood the pattern properly. Princess Madelyn, you have warmest gratitude. Oh, this guy's already dead, isn't he?
Yeah. So, here's a little story about why the story is the way it is. So, originally when we were going to do funding, we were going to do CMF funding, which is a Canadian media fund. And in order to do that, we had to show, like if it was a kids game, we had to show strong family values, strong moral values, and lessons learned and stuff like that. So when we did that, the story was kind of already being written. So we're trying to portray good family values and Maddie be a good girl kind of thing, do good things for people. And that was the whole storyline as it goes on. And that's why it got really wordy.
Oh, that's funny.
Like, and then they're like, people don't like pixel art games anymore. And that was it.
Oh, and then they just rejected you?
Yeah, they're like, nobody plays pixel art games anymore.
Oh,
Wait,
that's so mean.
have you ever like looked at video game stores before? Because half of them are pixel art. Now.
Yeah. Well, even a guy in our Discord, you know, like one of our... I mean, like I've always been... This is an indie-focused stream, you know, so we play a lot of indie games. But yeah, there was even a guy in our Discord who complained that we were, like, playing a game with old-fashioned pixel art. And it's like, well, excuse us, but many of us love games that look like this. Yeah, there's enough 3D games out there that a few pixel art indie games isn't going to hurt anything.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's certain kind of pixel art I don't like. I'm really picky about that kind of stuff too. Like I like Capcom-y looking stuff. Like that's what I learned to draw was Capcom and Konami style stuff. And there are certain things with pixel art that just drive me nuts. So.
Sorry, my kids are being noisy over here, and I've got, you know, a blue microphone, so it picks up everything. Jerks.
I can.
Yeah, that's family life for you. Okay, by the way, I know you added a mode where you can play as the dad or something, is that right?
Oh yeah, I'm in it.
So, how do we do that?
Put the title, go to arcade, and select King Daddy mode, I think it's called.
Oh, neat. And it's just a different way to play arcade mode?
Oh yeah, it's harder.
Oh wow, King Daddy right there. So, okay, we'll leave it on that. So, if people want to keep up with Causal Bit Games, what do they do? Join Hound Pit Games Discord, I guess? Or...
Yep, Discord. I use the Twitter a lot, and I use my own account on Twitter more than I use the Causal Bit Games one. But yeah, there's lots of ways to get the Discord. I don't have the address for that off the top of my head.
No worries, but yeah, you share it around, so if anybody wants to ever go there and chat, you and I both chat there sometimes, so that'd be fun. And wow, yeah, the dad starts with a sword, huh? So instead of range, she's got melee.
So this is a throwback to Insanity's Blade, our first game. King Daddy is technically Thurston from Insanity's Blade, and that's the script from the game. So the whole joke is you're playing Insanity's Blade basically, except you get hit and knocked into your underwear. I go around in my boxers, real life.
So it's perfect. It's basically realistic.
Yeah, and you always have Kogo when you're playing as King Daddy.
Oh, neat.
He's stuck with the one weapon, so
you can jump and do a downward slash at the enemies and bounce off of them, in other words?
Yeah. You just hold down the button and jump, yeah. You've got auto fire on, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Is that messing me up?
Yeah, I just saw you do the downward thrust and I just went ding. So, yeah.
Wow, this is harder, though. Like, the enemies are attacking at a really fast rate and stuff.
When my tester was playing it, he's like, this is so much easier than throwing weapons. I'm like, what? I found so much there's Kogo across the enemies now.
Oh, you just broke up when you said that. By the way, Icky shared the link to your to the Discord. The Hound Pit Games Discord, or presumably that's the one he just shared. Yeah, so thank you, Icky. We appreciate that. Yeah,
Can be either. We have two, because like we have one for all of our games.
Okay, I didn't know if I was supposed to mention that or not.
Yeah. That one I set up ages ago and I closed it and I just reopened it again.
Oh, okay.
Because we have nothing for Insanity's Blade at all. I totally forgot. And then people will come into the Battle Princess Madelyn thing and start talking about it. I'm like, I should probably just make another one because half of that game is not safe for work stuff. So
that is true. And yeah, HPG, they're a little picky about what you can say and not say and such. Oh, I just got eaten. All right. Well, Chris, thank you so much for taking the time to talk about your game and help me get through it. That was extremely handy having you around.
Yeah, no problem, man.
And
thanks for having me.
Yes, of course. And on behalf of other backers like Icky and myself, thank you for making this really cool game.
Well, you're welcome. I'm just happy people like it. That was like the update was a big deal. Like I'm like, yeah, people are kind of iffy about the game. We got to make it how people want it. So.
And you even solved that Xbox One X problem that was, just bugging a few of us, but it's fixed, so that's so nice.
I think it was there on everybody. It's just that the way that maybe the errors are being reported was just saying that it was Xbox One X or something. There's a lot of glitchy things that happen on that website that I see the errors on, so it could have been anything probably.
Ooh, and we, by the way, I forgot, there's some cool options. You got a speedrun clock, 2 different soundtracks. I didn't even get to show off the classic soundtrack, but that's really neat. And let's see. Oh, and here's the new helpers menu. This is all new stuff, right? Fritzy MP fully upgraded. Chris?
Oh, hints on. So that gets rid of the hint people.
Oh.
Signs and stuff. So if you actually want to play the game the old school way that I would have played it when I was 8 or something like that, it removes all the hints and all the people. You just got to talk to them.
That's a nice option to have. Because, yeah, and once you know what everything does, it can be a little annoying having them there. So might as well just turn them off if you already know what's going on.
Yeah. The problem with feedback from multiple people is some people want something always and some people want something never. And they get mad when you do that stuff. So more options.
Options are good. We appreciate it. All right, thank you everybody for watching us. Remember, we stream every Saturday at the same time, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Always a different game. Icky, thank you for running the contest. You did a great job as always. And of course, thank you, Chris and How Big Games for donating prizes.
No problem.
Excellent. Everyone, make sure you're following me on Twitter and Twitch. And whatever you do, don't hate, appreciate. Too bad Tyler had to leave early. What an SOB. Then usually we just kind of talk over the ending animation. They can't really hear it, but we can see it. A friend of mine did these animations. Basically, I wanted them to...
That's in my intro too, you don't have to tell me. I like it too. That's one of the most memorable arcade or game intros ever, where Leonardo slashes down the middle of the screen. And that's in the cutscene, the animated cutscene for Maddie.